All right, I got a new light. It is the Amaran Verge Max. Let's go ahead and unbox it. All right, so here it is. About the size that I thought it was gonna be, kind of perfect for a table size for a key light. Let me go ahead and unbox the rest of the items. All right, so this is the charging cable. And then there's another big box right here, which is the table clamp stand. Let's open this up. Dang, this thing's heavy. All right, got a couple pieces here. This is the first piece, which is a pole. The next piece, it's the table clamp. Dang, this thing is actually a big clamp. So really good for people who have really thick tables and desks. And then one more piece here. This is the thing that actually turns so you can actually move the light in various directions. So it looks like there's 3 pieces there, and that is it. So the entirety of it is the actual Amaran lights, the charging cable, and then 3 parts to the clamp stand. So another thing that I actually bought for the Amaran Verge Max is this diffuser. It is a honeycomb attachment that kind of just magnetizes on top, I believe. There's kind of a ring outside of here that I think will just go right on top, but this will create a nice soft light over my face whenever I am shooting videos. So had to make sure that I ordered this separately. So I'm excited to get it all set up. Okay, so I got the Amaran Verge Max kind of set up here. I just need to attach it to my desk, which I'm gonna show you my current desk setup. It's always changing, but the main thing is I have a gobo light, like a snoot attachment that provides a fake light onto that corner. And then I have an Amaran 60D with a lantern softbox, and sometimes I'll put a different kind of softbox on there. But really, this is my main YouTube setup that I was doing for a little bit, where I'm sitting right there, the camera's right there, and this is the background. What I found though, that this is a little too much. I always have to think about what the background looks like, and I just want a smaller setup. So what I'm thinking is I want to move this table in that corner. And the reason is because I've been actually really loving having a desk here and filming in this corner, having kind of just these shelves as a leading line, the background light as a leading line. And if I were to put a table, this table right over here, that way I can get a background shot with the leading lines of the table, as well as kind of prop myself up a little bit to get this corner. And so right now, the thing that I have to do is I have to clean up around here and literally move this entire setup into that corner. So let's clean up a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take away this black carpet. I do like how soft it is on my feet, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it really isn't flat ever. It's always having these lumps. And with it being underneath my desk, I don't want it to always be lumpy and uneven. So I'm actually gonna roll it up right now, and it's just gonna be blank right over here. Okay, back to my desk. I still have a lot of my cable management and my Varipole cables attached to this table. So I'm gonna clear out everything on here, and it's gonna be easier for me to move my entire desk over there. And I'm actually gonna try to change up where everything is placed anyways. So I'm gonna clear the desk, clean it a little bit before I get going over there. Okay, so I want to make sure that I leave enough room from the table and the wall, because I am going to attach my camera probably onto here, and I always use a quick release plate. And oftentimes what I have to do is, let me show you what happens. I'm going to grab a camera. What happens is when I attach my camera onto here, I don't have the quick release plate right now, but I always have to move it backwards and forwards. So I want to have enough room from the wall to the attachment of the camera. So seeing just where the desk is right now is actually really nice so far, because seeing all this space is actually really nice. I can film a lot of product reviews, top-down shots. I can just do a lot of videos from here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this Varipole onto here or if I wanna move the Varipole where my desk is gonna be. But so far, this is the progress. I have the desk right here, and then one of my cameras is gonna be mounted onto here. It's gonna get an angle shot just like this in this wall and the shelf. And then I'm also gonna have another secondary angle from this shot, which is gonna be this wall. Now next, what I have to do is with the new Amaran Verge Max and its mount, I have to figure out if I want it in the middle, on this side, or this side. All right, so I thought about it, and Usually what I'm actually always doing is I always have my key light to the right of my face. I've just gotten used to it. But I think for this setup, because I do want to have a camera angle from here, I essentially want my key light on this side as well. I think that might be the move. So I'm gonna move some stuff here. The Amaran Verge Max comes with its own mount. This thing is huge. There's not a lot of places I can mount it on this side because my cable management is on that side. Okay, that's pretty secure. Let's get the attachment on this side as well. So this comes with the piece. Make sure I take it back. I already attached the second part, the swivel, on here. So I think all I have to do is literally just put it on top and slide it through. All right, not gonna lie, this is actually super secure. Dang, I can just swivel it and it holds its spot. The question is, do I want it right here? Because I want to be right here. And then let's see, the camera is right here. Now the problem with this is that this is directly over my face. Ideally, I liked it to be next to me, a little bit to the side, 45-degree angle. But the good thing about this being here is if I am doing a forward-facing angle right here, now it's on my side. But if I turn for a secondary angle, this is going to be in front of me. So I am going to contemplate whether or not I want to keep it there for a minute here. So the Amaran came with this, and this just plugs in the back via USB-C. That's actually pretty surprising. It's not a regular port. Let me just plug this USB-C kind of like this. And the cool thing, it has cable management right here already that comes with this mount. So I'm going to put that in right there. It's actually super cool. Give it enough slack. And then there's also some on this side. All right, what? Dang, this thing is short. Okay, that's the one thing about this charging thing is, what the heck? There's like there's no slack on it. But it's okay, I have an extension cable right here. Cool, it's plugged in. Let's turn it on. All right, that took way too long, but I found the power button. It's right here. Hey, okay. Wow, with the grid. So now I just have to change the temperature because it's super warm. And that's really cool. It tells you exactly like what it is. So right now it's at 2700 Kelvin at 38%. And I can just change everything from here. Whoa. So that's 22%. Let's change it to 5600. So that's lighting me right now, just from that light. All right, let's set up a camera, see what the angle looks like, and then finish off the desk setup and then clean the rest of this room. Okay, progress. All right, so let me put my Sony a7C II with a 16mm. I think this is gonna be nice and wide enough for this shot. So I'm just gonna slide it right on through. Okay, this is what it looks like. Nothing's really changed so far. I haven't moved the light. I actually like how the light is right now. This is nice. So this might be a cool shot because I have the shelving right there, which I can have a practical light. I have my hair light that I'm actually gonna move further down my vari-pole, and then a little bit of contrast where this is a little bit darker and this is a little bit lighter. But yeah, now instead of this angle, I'm gonna put it onto this angle. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is, because I have these quick release plates, I can easily unmount there and easily mount right there. Now this is the second shot, which I'm just gonna adjust a little bit. Again, this is the 16mm. The light is still on my left side there, casting a nice shadow. I'm gonna have a hair light on this right shoulder. This isn't too bad either. I mean, I can even go a little bit tighter than this. Actually, no, this is a good focal length, 16mm. So man, so I have these two angles. The Amaran Verge Max has less of a footprint, so it's not as protruding out, and I can move it so easily. This might be the new YouTube setup for my desk. All right, I'm making progress with this room. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the desk fully loaded and ready for recording. I'm gonna clean up this background, set everything where I need to be. And because I want to be so efficient with YouTube, I'm gonna create it to where everything is ready within a few clicks, lights, cameras, audio. And I'm not gonna record everything because it's gonna take a while, so I might do a time lapse, but I will show you what the final product is. Let's go. All right, so after some rearranging of the Amaran Verge Max on my desk, the things behind me, and setting up the shots, this is what it looks like. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy. I am kind of right in the middle of the shots. There are some leading lines from the shelf behind me, a practical light, and I do have a hair light on the back of me. So this is the first angle, and it's as easy as just using a quick release plate and moving it to the secondary angle, just like this. So I'm gonna take off the camera. I'm just gonna move the microphone with me. Set it right there. And I'm also gonna move the Amaran Verge Max, which is a little bit above me. Right now it is set at 8%, so it's actually really low in terms of the intensity of the light. And all you need is a simple YouTube setup. Practical lights, I'm right in the middle, but the main thing is that this light is gonna be really practical, really easy to use. I can swivel it for this angle as well as the other angle, and I want it to be very, very practical and the workflow to be super easy when creating YouTube videos. So there it is. That is the video for the Amaran Verge Max. Thanks for watching this video. It was actually really fun to redo my entire home studio, and now I have a workflow that I can use super easily, and I'm excited to make more videos. If you found this video helpful in terms of how I think about setting up a YouTube space in terms of the lighting, the audio, and the workflow, let me know in the comments below. I'm super excited to actually do this video and release it. So if you're interested, I'm gonna do more of these kinds. And with that, I would love for you to comment in this video, subscribe. A lot of the links in this video of the equipment is gonna be in the description below. But until next time, see you in the next video. Peace.